Alright folks, we're going to try this again. Tried making a video, cut it off because I didn't have a memory in my phone, so I had to delete some stuff. So we'll try this again. This is a smoke break with a shitty cigarette apparently that got wet because it's raining out here. Let's see if we can find a good one. There's a good one. That's right, smoker's cough before I light up. Alright, I'm going to talk about the Republican debate tonight, or debate, because I don't think it was actually a debate, because of the dumbass socialist media that was running it. It really kind of just turned into a forum, because the Republicans caught on to what was going on with the little fucking dumbass gotcha questions that really weren't working for anyone, even the moderators, because they were too stupid to ask gotcha questions. And I believe Marco Rubio called out one of the questions because it was worded to Mike Huckabee. What he, did he think Donald Trump was moral and ethical enough for president? I mean, how do you? That's just a way to get people slinging mud to each other, which is what fucking socialists and communists do. That's the only thing they know how to do, is how to cause infighting with each other. And the Republicans started catching on to that. That were on stage and were forced to attack socialism and communism all night because of that, which I kind of liked, but I kind of didn't, because I think it might have hurt the party in general, not in the eyes of the public. I'm talking about like as to actually making a decision on who Republicans want to vote for in the primary, because it really wasn't a debate. It turned into a forum of them just, giving these answers and to these dumbass questions. And then, the moderators didn't allow fucking people to come back at things and redirect and all this. They were, Rand Paul kind of figured out that he was being ignored just like his daddy gets ignored. And he just started, he eventually just started talking and saying, I want to talk about my plan. You guys haven't, because he only got asked like 2 or 3 questions or 2 questions at that point or some shit. Because the mainstream media, Fox News and CNBC, MSNBC, ABC, do not want a Paul presidency. They didn't like his daddy. They don't like him, even though he's trying to play more politics, which I think is a mistake. And I also think he's a very polite person, which is good, but I think he needs to be really more aggressive, such as Ted Cruz was very aggressive tonight. I thought he did very well. I think he's going to make up a lot of ground in the polls because of it. Ben Carson, you can watch the video I had on him. I commented like a minute and a half on him last night when I was talking about Bernie Sanders' dumbass democratic socialism. And I commented on Ben Carson's Seventh-day Adventism. I'm from Maine. That's where one of the founders was born. And just in my opinion, she was a con artist trying to sell books, claiming that she had visions, and it kind of creeps me out that he hasn't found, gets tricked that easily into something. Maybe he was just, maybe he's just Seventh-day Adventist and she was a kid and is just gonna fucking ride that train till the end. I don't know, but it really creeps me out. So every time he says something, it always comes back to that in my brain. I don't think it's going to play very well with the independents if he becomes the nominee, because then all MSNBC has to do is start talking about his crazy-ass religion, whose false prophet thought that the world's going to end in 1853. All right, and I don't think I think it's going to be a mistake if he's the nominee. Although I do agree with some of the stuff he says. I think he's a very sweet man, but it's just that's not going to play well. It doesn't play well with me, and I agree with a lot of stuff he says. Some stuff I don't agree with him on is forced inoculations. Doesn't sound like freedom to me when you're forcing people to inoculate their kids. It sounds kind of tyrannical. Another thing that I disagree with him on is increasing the drug war. I'm pro-cannabis. I'm actually pro-legalizing all drugs in, not all at once. What's the fucking word for that? In stages, and taxing it, and then getting some rehabilitation centers up so people can rehabilitate from their opiate addictions, because a lot of people are addicted to opiates that are actually on prescription drugs, which are legal. That's big pharma, so we won't talk about that. Let's see, who else do I think, stay on subject, who else do I think made it out pretty good tonight? I think Carly Fiorina, I think, made out pretty well. I thought she answered some questions pretty well. Again, I don't want her to be the Republican nominee, but I'm going to be honest, I think she did pretty well tonight. Marco Rubio, I think, did okay. I mean, it was pretty much the only debate part of the debate was when Jeb Bush did some jabs at him for not working hard as the senator and campaigning too much, which Jeb Bush will do because he's campaigning all the time and can't make up ground because he's a New World Order stooge, just like his daddy and his brother. And a lot of people in the party are catching on to that, that he is just basically an establishment stooge. Okay, so I don't think he's got a chance with all the money he's putting in. He's wasting money. He's getting frustrated, and he decided to attack Marco Rubio, who is from his state, which I thought was pretty classless because that's just slinging mud at like your neighbor. And Marco's I think, like, I don't agree. I don't want to be the nominee, but I thought he handled it pretty well. He's a very short-statured man. I thought that came off like kind of bullying on Jeb Bush's part because he's standing next to him, towering over him, talking to him like he's a lazy kid not wanting to work or something. I thought it came off really bad for Jeb, and I think that's good because I think Jeb Bush is a fucking stooge. So hopefully he doesn't win. Rand Paul, I'm pretty big Rand Paul supporter. I support his dad, but he's just not being aggressive enough. He started to, but I think it was a little too late. I think he might have lost some ground. Although Ted Cruz is a lot like Rand Paul in a lot of aspects, and I would not mind seeing a Rand Paul Ted Cruz ticket or a Ted Cruz Rand Paul ticket, however you want to word it. Donald Trump, I think, kept it going. I don't think he lost too much ground, but I don't know if he really improved too much on Ben Carson. I didn't think Ben Carson did too bad, even though I wouldn't want to vote for him, but I got to be honest, I don't think he did too shabby in the debate forum thing. I kind of like how they all came together, like I said, to really take on socialist bullshit questions, these socialist gotcha questions that were just meant to divide the party and to start mudslinging. MSNBC right now was talking about how, Ted Cruz doesn't like the question, he's going to attack the poor little moderator. Yeah. Well, Ted Cruz did a very classy thing where he actually involved other candidates pointing out your fucking dumbass questions to the other candidates as well. And I thought that was very classy for Ted. Ted Cruz seems like a very smart man. He seems like he has a pretty high IQ. He answered a question that had to do with women's pay or something, which I think is kind of bullshit. I think that stat's rigged in some manner. But instead of answering it like that, he actually answered it very, very well if you're talking about getting voters. And Carly Fiorina kind of piggybacked on that. So that was the end of my cigarette. Got a little bit of a cold, so I don't really want to light another one. Got about a minute left. Just getting over it, so I need to start smoking a little bit again. Cut down on cigarettes, which is good. I know it's called smoke break, but I wouldn't mind quitting, but it's just not in the option for me. I've tried many times. If you guys have any quitting strategies that work for you, put them down there. Maybe I'll give them a shot. I tried quitting cold turkey. Tried the patch, tried the lozenge. I tried the Chantix shit, which gave me weird fucking dreams. That must be what that 7-Day Adventist was on. Maybe she was on some version of fucking Chantix or some shit when she was writing her vision books for 7-Day Adventism. So again, that's who I think came out ahead was Ted Cruz. Donald Trump, I don't think lose too much ground. I don't think he gained too much ground either. Carly Fiorina, I can't say her fucking name, but you know who I mean, the Hewlett Packard CEO. I thought she did pretty well. I thought she did better than I thought she was going to do. Jeb Bush is a New World Order stooge. I hope he drops out of the race soon. What's the other guy there? Fucking Kasich, who's also pro-drug war, which was the only... he got that question, and I think he was the only person that got that question because the fucking socialist stooges knew that they were asking a guy that was pro-drug war, so they didn't want to ask Rand Paul his opinion on the drug war and other candidates. Because they want the independents to watch and be like, oh shit, fucking continue the drug war, that's going to be fucking expensive, you got people in jail, we got more people in jail than fucking China, it's fucking ridiculous, and that was just designed that way. It's too bad that the Republicans didn't pick up on that, but all in all, not a bad Republican forum, not really a debate, and let's go on here, let's take on socialism, let's make sure these assholes don't win. Have a good night.